Hello everyone, I am Kiran Joshi. Hope you all are safe and sound. Here I am presenting the second video of Class 8 Civics, Chapter 4, Understanding Laws. In the first video of this chapter, we learnt about the meaning of rule of law and that it began to evolve in our country during the colonial period. We also learnt that every year new laws are passed and existing laws are revised as per the requirement. Children, in this video, we are going to understand the ways by which a new law is made. Dear children, you know that our society is made up of various social, religious, economic groups, and most of the time the demand for a new law or for the amendment in the existing law comes from these groups. It is the duty of the parliament to be sensitive to the problems of the people and act according to this. As you know that the members of the parliament are the representatives of the people. Children, we learn better with examples. So, let's understand the process, how a law was made for the issue of domestic violence. But before that, let's understand the meaning of domestic violence. Domestic violence refers to the injury or harm or threat of injury or harm caused by an adult male, usually the husband, against his wife. The injury or harm may be due to physically beating up the woman or by emotionally abusing her. Abuse can also be verbal, sexual, or economic abuse. Under the law that was made against domestic violence, the term domestic includes all women who live or have lived together in a shared household with the male member who is causing the violence. Now let's understand through a storyboard how this issue of domestic violence was brought to the notice of the parliament and what was the process adopted for this issue to become law. The story begins with the conversation between two women, Kusum and Shazia, who were for a women's organization. After reading the news in the newspaper uh, about the protection of women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, uh, uh, that this act was passed, they were remembering the journey, how this issue got passed. And in the flashback, they remembered that on April 1991, two women came to their organization seeking help. One woman was complaining that her husband beat her, and another woman complained about her being ill treated by her son and daughter in law. She complained that they verbally abused her, that means they insulted and criticized her. She could not use her bank accounts, therefore, even for her finances, she was dependent on her son and daughter in law. She feared that they could throw her out of the house. Both the women did not want the involvement of the police. They wanted that the ill treatment against them to be stopped. But the women's organization could not help much as at that time only criminal law was there and that law could not fulfill the requirements of the victims of domestic violence. This was one incident. There were many such incidents. Therefore, the need for a new law that could deal with this problem was raised through different forums such as women's organization, public meetings, etc. These forums brought forward the various demands of women related to this issue, such as protection against being beaten, the right to continue living in a shared household, etc. These forums demanded for a new civil law which could address this issue. Nationwide consultations were held for this issue and a lot of suggestions were noted down. For example, one suggestion was that the definition of domestic violence should include physical, economic, sexual, or verbal abuse. Another suggestion was that the law should cover any women living in within a shared domestic space. They should be protected from being forced to leave the shared household. Further, there was a suggestion that the law should also provide some monetary relief of the victims of the domestic violence. Keeping these suggestions in mind, the Lawyers Collective took the initiative to draft the Domestic Violence Prevention and Protection Bill in 1999. Children Lawyers Collective is a non government organization in India whose members are lawyers, law students, and activists. It promotes human rights, especially on issues related to women's rights. The bill drafted by the Lawyers Collective was widely circulated and many meetings were held with different organizations. As a result of these meetings, the government introduced the bill in Parliament in 2002. But that bill did not cover most of the requirements, and many of the suggestions were not included in this bill. Therefore, many women's organizations opposed the then proposed bill. Further, many women's organizations, National Commission for Women, submitted their demands to the Parliamentary Standing Committee, in which they asked for changing the definition of domestic violence and provision for temporary custody of children, etc. The Parliamentary Standing Committee made a report in which it accepted most of the demands of the women's groups, and in December 2002 it submitted its recommendations to Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Finally, a new bill was reintroduced in Parliament in 2005, passed in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both, and sent to the President's assent. The act came into effect in 2006. This civil law gives a comprehensive definition of domestic violence and provides relief to women against domestic violence. This law recognizes the right of women to live in a shared household. According to this law, the women can get a protection order against any further violence. Women can claim for monetary relief to meet their expenditure, in which medical costs are also included. Children, through this storyboard, it is clear that in a democracy, in framing any law, citizens' role is very crucial. From establishing the need for a new law to its being passed, the voice of the citizen is an important element at every stage. TV reports, newspaper editorials, radio broadcasts, local meetings, all these become the voice of the citizens as well as make the work of the parliament more accessible and transparent to the citizens. Sometimes the parliament passes such laws that prove to be very unpopular. It is possible that a law is constitutionally valid and legal. Still, the people feel that the purpose or the aim of that law is unjust and harmful, and thus it becomes unpopular and unacceptable to the people. In such cases, people use various ways to criticize the law. They hold public meetings, they write about it in newspapers, and report on TV news channels, etc. A democracy gives people the right that they can express their unwillingness to accept a law if they find it repressive. In many cases, people start feeling that a wrong law has been passed, then there is a pressure on the parliament to change this. Children, sometimes there can be a law that favors one group and disregard the other group. Such a law will be controversial, causing disagreement and lead to conflict. For example, many municipal laws make hawking and street vending illegal as they use the space within the municipal area. On one hand, some rules are necessary to keep public space open so that people can walk on the pavement easily. On the other hand, the hawkers and vendors make their livelihood by providing essential services to large number of people in cheap and affordable price. In such cases, those who find the law unjust and unfair can approach the court. The court has the power to decide on the issue. The court can modify or even cancel such laws if the laws don't abide by the values of the constitution. There are different ways in which citizens can protest, campaign and show unity, such as hunger strike, march, etc. So, dear children, in a democracy, the responsibility of citizens is not merely to elect their representatives. The citizens should use newspapers and the media to check the work done by the MPs. In case it is required, the actions of MPs should be criticized also. In this way, we can say that to make Parliament perform its functions properly, the involvement and the enthusiasm of the citizens is very crucial. Now there are some questions for you to revise the topic. So the first question here is, how is a new law introduced in Parliament? Second, describe the ways in which the citizens can express their views in relation to laws made in Parliament. Third question, what is the role of the citizens in formulation of new law? Fourth question, what are unpopular and controversial laws? If you find this video helpful and you wish to watch more of such content, do consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you have any queries or any comments, please post them in the comment section below. Thank you.